Hi, this is Lisaivette Ramos Montalvo again. Today I'll be sharing with you another story just like I did with the Love Wanted Girl that soon became the series I made called The Dream Journeys of Bliss and Fluff. But this time it's just going to be like a one story kind of thing and, well, there's no running series. But anyway, I hope you enjoy. The Love and Family Search. There once lived a lady that lived all by herself. She wasn't at peace though. Every day she felt scared and alone. Then one night there was a problem for her. She had nightmares of her past. First it was the fact that she was in her best bridal gown and ready for what she thought would be her wedding day. But when she came down, she realized that the one that said he loved her had betrayed her. She was so upset. Then came the nightmare past of hers from when she had managed to at least have a baby of her own. It was a boy, but when the lady thought she had her son, the doctor explained that they found some problems with him, which worried the lady. When they finished up, unfortunately the baby died during care, and the lady was extremely upset. And finally there was the fact where bad problems came for her when she realized that her mother had died of illness, and the girl couldn't bear to live without her because since she was single, it seemed like she was all she had. She said in her sleep, "Why can't I have good results?" She started to cry in her own sleep. She couldn't even take the pressure. Then the next morning, she was having to face great depression over the trouble she felt. She came to having to take a rest on the the city bench. And she felt extremely worried and depressed. And the voice said, "Lenore!" Lenore said, "Mandy!" She saw her friend Mandy walk by. She said, "There's a lot of trouble going on for you, for what I see you facing. Is everything still making you feel bad with those issues you're facing?" Lenore said, "I just can't get out of the trouble from what I face from here. I only want a family of my own." Then Mandy thought about it and said, "Why don't you try with having to visit the local orphanage down by the city? That way you can start by picking and adopting a child of your own and work your way up from there." Then Lenore was then thinking that she could have a chance from there. She said, "All right, I'll give it a try." Then later she rushed her way to the local orphanage but lost the directions. She couldn't reach them, but then a man managed to catch them for her. It was even someone she knew. Then he said, "Lenore, is everything okay?" Then Lenore remembered all he did for her in their past. She said, "Marcus, it's all right, thank you." Then as she left, the moment that she turned and waved, she thought of how she felt for Marcus. Then when she was able to reach the orphanage, she had then came inside and walked her way to the front desk. The moment that the manager looked to her, she put a mood and let me say that again. She put up a mood and said, "How can I help you?" Lenore said, I I just came to adopt a child." The lady said, "I'll have you know, I don't trust all parents." And Lenore saw that she felt depressing fear, but had to stand up for it. And the moment she stood, she said, "I'm not a complete failure. I can promise you that I can take good care of the child." Then, as the manager had managed to find out how she was, she said, "Very well, I guess I have no choice from here. My name is Alex. I'll guide you straight to our children of the earth." The Lisaivette had been taking their way to where the children were. It seemed like there were a lot of choices for what the orphanage had to offer. Then, as Lenore was just about to finish looking around, she saw a child that seemed a bit different. She wasn't playing at all. She was just napping on the chair. Then they had knew from there that Lenore might want to pick that child. She said, "What's that child's name?" Alex said, "That one is Mithla. She's a lot different from the others, but she's well behaved." Then as Lenore came to Mithla, she said, "Mithla, hey Mithla." Mithla woke up to Lenore. She said, "Who are you?" Lenore said, "It's just that I want to adopt you. It will make a big change because I want to be your mama." Mithla said, "Mama." But then Alice said, "Hold it, ma'am." Alice seemed serious with them and said, "I want you to at least follow with my deal from here. I'm giving you only a week to show that you can actually care for the child. Then I want you to use this click-on tablet camera just to let me see with how you're doing from here." Lenore said, "But how will you know on how things go?" Alex said, "It's connected to my computer. Now take this and leave." Then later, Lenore left with Mithla with her, and the tablet camera was on her clothing. Then Mithla said, "Mama, how will we manage to get through this?" Lenore said, "I don't know just yet on how it'll work out, but I promise it'll be okay at the end, and I'll be able to keep you." Then Marcus came to them. He said, "I heard from Mandy that you were making a chance of adopting a child to make your life happier, but you only have a week to prove it. Lenore, I want to help fix this for you. I don't want you to fail." Lenore accepted his offer. As the week began to move on for the three of them, they were already beginning to have everything under control for them. It seemed perfectly fine for all of them. Then as the final day was coming along for what the mother and daughter had to face, Lenore said, "Don't worry, Mithla. I've actually had great strategies for how it went when I managed to watch how Alex saw us with that camera tablet. Looking back, I know she'll get everything." Mithla said, "Mama, what about you? The thing is that I found you wanted this to work out the way it should be, but you seemed worried at first." Then Lenore thought of what she said, but then she said, "The troubles are actually ending for me now. The only thing I need from here is to have family. I'm sure I have it all from here. I promise everything will be okay. The rest of us won't have to worry about this anymore. We're gonna live happy lives from now on, too. Everything will be fine." Then Mithla smiled. At the moment Lenore noticed she didn't have to worry anymore. They got close to the orphanage. Lenore said, "Looks like we have everything in our where we have to be, Mithla. We're almost there." Then suddenly Alex stepped out and said, Hold it right there. She didn't seem too happy either. She said, don't take this for what you might think. I might have seen everything, but this doesn't change my mind instantly. Lenore said, what? You don't mean... Alex said, Lenore Cassis, I am taking back Mithla. Lenore said, no, but why? Alex said, in order to approve from me with the adoption of a child, you had to score a complete 100% from me from what I saw from the camera. But from what I saw, you only scored half, a complete 50. I'm returning Mithla with me into the orphanage, and I'm agreeing with this with the government to ban you from my area right now. End of discussion. She left with Mithla, looking back to her. Lenore said, no! Mithla! My daughter! Please! I want to be a mother! She fell to the ground and cried in rivering tears. Marcus noticed that she ran over and said, Lenore! He came to her and started to hold her in his arms. He said, relax, Lenore. I came. Lenore said, but I lost Mithla. She was going to be my daughter. As Lenore cried, Mithla said, Lenore. When she tried to leave, Alex said, don't go, Mithla. They mean nothing for you. It's time for some changes. As Mithla got angry at her, Alex said, you should stop the instant belief and begin with the... Mithla slapped her face as Alex let go of her. Then she ran straight to Lenore and Marcus. She said, Lenore! Lenore said, Mithla. Mithla hugged her and said, I promise we'll both take care. Both of us just need to find out our ways. Please promise me you'll do the same yourself. Lenore said as she dried her eyes and smiled. Okay, you have a deal. Mithla said, thank you. Bye-bye, Lenore. Alex couldn't believe what she did as she walked with Mithla. Meanwhile, Marcus said, Lenore, I want you to know we've known each other for so long, so I must ask you one thing. He pulled out a wedding ring and said, will you marry me? Lenore said, yes, let's go. As the couple left, Alex looked back to her past. She remembered a man telling her, she is too good for the life of fame. Another voice said, what are you trying to say? The man said, your daughter is too friendly for the life of fame. So no understanding, no acceptance. We're making a deal of this with the government. We'll never accept her. Ever. Ever. Get her out of here. As they left, Alex started to cry. When she came back, she went back to the orphanage with Mithla and said, maybe we can both make a change. Mithla smiled. Then later from at Lenore's home, a knock was at that door, but when Lenore came, she saw nobody tall, but then said, Mithla? Mithla said, Mommy! Mithla came back with an approved form in her hand. Lenore said, my daughter! Lenore hugged her and Alex promised to change to be good. as it became a happy ending. The end. Okay, so that was my story, and I hope you all enjoy from there, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.